Solo leveling is not what we think it is. It's fantasy, it's action, it's comedic, but there's something else. There's a reality to it that I don't think we're really seeing. You know how movies and shows tend to tell us what's really going on behind closed doors with the elite and the one percenters and the government, but they tell it in like a little joke so they keep us docile and laughing. I think that this is one of those moments. I started asking myself a series of questions right around episode 3 or 4 when the statues came in. It's questions like, what is this? I thought this was like a shonen anime. It's supposed to be like happy-go-lucky. He's supposed to get a power-up, find himself, get a girl, you know, like the standard stuff. And I figured the best way to answer these questions is to do it chapter by chapter. And if you stick around to the end, I'll reveal how this is our reality. Also, please, no spoilers. From the manga, from the manhwa, please, no spoilers. I don't want to know that I'm wrong. Okay, I don't want to know that I'm right either. The first chapter, an illusion. Let me ask you something. Do you feel in control of your life? Do you feel like you control the oxygen that your lungs intake or the way your blood moves and flows through your veins? I'll be simpler. Do you control that promotion or how people see you? If you answer yes to any of those, you are a liar. I look at Jinwoo and see nothing different. Now, we can't answer what is the illusion without questioning what is the system. What's its purpose? It came about when dimensions started opening all around the globe, but what is it doing here? If we are to make an educated guess on what it's for, we know that it dictates how and if Jinwoo levels up, and we can assume that it does that for all the awakened characters, right? Take episode 6 for an example. We see that Jinwoo was tasked with killing the 6 men or his heart would stop. That's terrifying. I would die. He was tasked with killing 6 men, and it didn't really feel like a task. It felt like a test. It felt like, are you willing to actually kill these 6 men? Are your morals higher than murder? He showed us. He showed us that, you know, I was above murder. Not anymore. I gotta preserve myself, and that's fair. Don't get me wrong, that's fair. I get that. In a situation where you gotta choose yourself over another human or a bunch of humans who have been bullying you and are going to kill you anyway, what would you do? You would probably crash out. I would crash out. We all gonna die. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But it seemed more like a question. Can you drop your own morals for your own reasons? Yes, many of us can. So it's not me being a hypocrite, but I feel like there's a lot of nuance. And that's not what this is about. But here's the thing. The system is always one step ahead. It's always watching, always searching, always taking in. What are you going to do when I give you this task here? Are you gonna do it? If I tell you that you may die if you don't, are you gonna do it? Or are you gonna chicken out? Are you scared? Are you scared? Every decision that Jinwoo makes and every line he draws or erases, the system is there and it's watching and it's waiting. It doesn't just react to his choices, it predicts them. Does that make sense when I say that? No. In a sense of, when we look at an algorithm, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. You're not gonna get me to go there. That's at the end of the video. I won't do that. It keeps him progressing in the direction that it wants him to go in. The system is handing him bricks, making sure he only picks up the ones especially designed for him, ensuring that he only steps where he's allowed. He only builds where the system says to. And the moment he hesitates, ding! There's a penalty. There's your life. There's your will. Figure it out. I'm sure you don't want to lose all the things you've worked for. The strength, the power, the elixirs to save your mom. Your mom. You want to save her, right? It's always a subtle reminder that stopping is not an option. You have nothing else to go for you, buddy. Keep going. But I know seeing Jinwoo as someone who's not strong when the whole series is about him being strong, it's hard. I can't personally see him as a pawn in someone's game, but the gears are going. You know, the gears are just like, my mind is just so mega. It's like, look how far he's come. Look how strong he's gotten. And all of his boyish good looks. Flex, I'm success. I don't flex, I'm success. I don't flex, I'm success. That's not for nothing. But we have to be objective here. All of those things were given to him. They were a byproduct of the system allowing him to level up. What character development do you want to go through where you have to smell death every single time to level up? But if we continue deeper, Jinwoo doesn't question the system either. He doesn't question why he has to do this, because what's the alternative? Death, stagnation, falling behind. Sound familiar? So is he really free? Or is he just another player in the game that he has no choice but to play? And that leads perfectly into chapter 2, The Controlled. We have to ask ourselves, why would the system want strong players? Why would it want strong creatures? Creatures. Why give the ability to awaken someone with infinite power? Is it doing it out of the kindness of his code? We know it's not simply to level Jinwoo up. My theory, just like in our reality, something's being built. I need you to follow me on this. Let's refer to episode 14, season 2. Jinwoo is in the Red Gate facing off with the elves, and right as he's asking them, what's your purpose? What are you after? What are you trying to do? They're about to respond, but they glitch. They were stopped. We see that the code was rewritten in real time. Why would the system not want a player to know these randomly generated creatures' motives if they're just randomly generated creatures? I asked that question, but I also had to ask my question, they have language comprehension. Look, you have to follow me. I told you to follow me on this. Give me your hand. They have language comprehension, and the fact that Jinwoo could understand them means that the system has its own language. Because Jinwoo didn't go through a level up of language barriers. He didn't go through that. So the fact that he can speak a language with creatures, he acknowledges, I can understand you. And the only way that Jinwoo would be able to understand them is if it was the language of the system. Honestly, I keep asking, it is a fantasy, so what are the odds we just have like a human that decided, hey, I want to play an elf? But you see that kind of that little gear that he had, just like it was like a split gear. It was like a little like a little hamster wheel. He was on it for like a second. I can understand them. And he got off. And with this next part, I started tweaking out when I was writing the script. I was literally tweaking out because when I was rewatching it, I was like, bro, recognize that he's glitching for one. For two, the screen is cracking. For three, he's questioning why is this happening. That is cognizance. That is cognizance at its finest. These are not just random creatures that suddenly came about or were coded in. These are actual creatures with actual thoughts and actual feelings and actual goals and reasonings. They know what's happening. Let me rewind because I started tweaking in real time too. In episode 18, season 2, Jinwoo is in the Red Gate with all of the others and he's facing off with the orcs. And he saw his life flash before his eyes. Not Jinwoo, Kargalgan. And we saw that. We literally saw how his life flashed right before his eyes. And he started questioning, what's the purpose? What am I doing? I was awakened and was told to kill humans. And I said, hey, okay. I wasn't doing nothing else on a Tuesday. But now he's like, I put all of my eggs in this one basket to not only fight humans like the system told me to, but to try and kill this one man. And that's not going to work. You know what? Let me rewind because you know what I'm saying? What he really said was, I woken in this place and was given the task to hunt humans. You was given this task. You were given a specific task to hunt humans. This means that Kargalgan and the elves were awakened creatures. They were awakened the same way Jinwoo was. So this cognizance means that they're coming from the same place that Jinwoo is coming from. They're being orchestrated by the same one, the system that Jinwoo is being orchestrated from. Jinwoo only knows, let me level up. Level up, level up, level up, level up. Take this, arise. Take this, arise. Level up, level up, level up. And they know hunt humans. The system is playing them both. I mean, honestly, the Kargalgan arc was a reasonable crash out if I was him. You see this man is using your downtrodden men, your downtrodden fellow orcs against you. I'm throwing everything that I possibly can. I'm throwing flags. I'm throwing chairs. I'm throwing my throne. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just throw my whole body at that point. Like, I don't know what else to do here, brother. You have my whole army behind you. But just like the elves and King Elf, sorry, I actually don't remember his name. And if he said his name, I didn't look for it. But just like them and the King Elf, Kargalgan represents someone who realized a little too late that he was playing a game. That brings us to the next chapter, The Warning. Initially, I thought the monsters were given the chance to become players too because they're awakened, just as Kargalgan said, we're awakened. But now I'm starting to think they're just collateral. So now I have to pivot my questions. Now it's, why is the system awakening creatures and humans alike across different dimensions and giving them power and giving them tasks and giving them challenges? We don't actually know any other humans that have awakened. We just know Jinwoo. Unless you guys remember Ilwan? You remember Ilwan? Jinwoo's father. We saw a brief little second of him, just like a brief little snack. They quick snack. And rewatching the episodes, it was episode 15 of season 2, and Ilwan answered the question. He literally brought it forth. He said, I've been gone for a long time. Do y'all still not know what's going on here? He's really confirming everything that I already thought. He's asking him, Huang Dong-su, forgive me if I'm butchering that, Huang Dong-su, if the human race has found anything about the catastrophe that's to come. The gates, the monsters, and the dungeons. Hwang Dong-soo was like, brother, I flew first class to hear you yap. I didn't come here for this. I'm ready to go. I'm not getting paid overtime for this. What are you talking about? If you would just listen, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we spend so much money on the stupidest stuff, and all we have to do is just come together and be like, yo, what's going on? We're on a floating rock in the middle of nowhere, and for them, we got dungeons opening up everywhere. What's going on? Okay, with this being said, Il-won has found out that something deeper is happening. Something else is happening behind the scenes that we do not know about because no one is questioning why this has happened. The power to bring forth the ultimate catastrophe has awakened. Who else do we know has the ability to awaken? Who else has the power, enough power, to awaken someone as well as give it power? That sounds familiar. Sounds a little familiar. Arise. Yeah, click that. Click that. Click it. So Dong-soo says we have hunters and we have numbers in our hunters, and Il-won is like, your numbers do not matter because half of them are either going to be devoured, which is consumed, or enslaved, playing by the system's rules. Unfortunately, that's where the scene ends with Il-won and Dong-soo. They duke it out. I can't even say they duke it out because Il-won completely obliterated, bust that guy. Il-won represents someone who knows about the system and tries to warn everyone else about it. Those dog whistles. Is it dog whistles or whistleblowers? Whistleblowers. Those whistleblowers. Dog whistles. Here, boy. Here's the information you need to know. Here's the truth. Actually, if you stuck around this long, I'm so happy for you because now we get to what this is. The revelation, the truth, and the mirror. The compelling evidence brings us to our ultimate theory. Take the premise of the situation and put on your reality glasses. I am the glob gala. Not those. Let me clean this off for you. Yeah, the system becomes work, school, social media, mechanisms designed to keep us down and dreaming for someone else and working for someone else, and not even just to pit us against each other, but to give us the illusion of control. Not familiar. The truth of the matter is we're trapped in a perpetual grind, a cycle where rest feels like a myth. There's no true pause. There's only goals, achievements, tasks to complete, dangled in front of us like a pop-up notification we have to clear. But just like Jinwoo, we don't actually question the grind. We just keep grinding. We just live in this culture of I gotta keep going, or else I'm gonna be left behind. I'm gonna be 40 and realize I didn't follow any of my dreams. That's like one of my biggest fears. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like Jinwoo, we don't question the grind either, because stepping away and falling back and taking a rest day means struggling to survive in a world that runs on productivity. The system doesn't have to force obedience when non-compliance feels like failure. But even then, the system holds the reins. Your algorithm isn't even yours. It's not something that you actually built. It's something that's curated to keep you doom scrolling and focused on something else other than yourself, other than your dreams, other than your goals. You believe you're building something brick by brick. In reality, the system is handing you the bricks and placing it exactly where they need you to step in order to keep you where they want you. Just like Jinwoo. And if we look at things like social media and capitalism, these are the systems that are designed to reward the strongest. And this isn't blaming the people, the individuals who decide to continue on with the system. Everyone has their own reasonings. Everyone's lines are their lines. I can't force you to see my line or even understand my perspective of this video, let alone my reasoning, and vice versa. Just like we saw with Jinwoo. Like, yeah, he had to kill those 6 people, those 6 men. We know that if he didn't do it, he would die and he wouldn't be able to save his mother. And just like Jinwoo, we tell ourselves, one more level, one more milestone, just one more achievement, and maybe I'll get the elixir. I mean, by this point, he already has the elixir. I think we're at the end of season 2. I'm recording this on Tuesday of April 1st, I think. So yeah, we already know that he's already saved his mother. But the stronger he gets, the more the system demands. And just like society for us, the higher we get, the more the bar is raised. There's no final level. It's just a longer to-do list. You know, that's it. It's just a theory, a film theory. Okay. But yeah, if you like this theory, if you see where I'm coming from, leave a comment. If not, do not spoil anything in the show. But if you like this theory, if you see where I'm coming from, then let me know in the comments. But if you don't see where I'm coming from, what do you think? What do you think this is? Is it just a fantasy to you? Is it just for fun? And that's just fair. It was for that for me too. And then I started thinking, the gears are going. But if you enjoyed yourself and you want to keep this party going, like I want to keep this party going, then you have to get to know me. And in order to get to know me, you got to get to know these 3. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll just see you next time. Bye. Bye.